You're listening to the IDEAfit Pro Show, the podcast that empowers fitness professionals to reach their highest potential personally and professionally. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or just starting your fitness journey, you're in the right place. Each week, we bring you expert interviews, industry trends, and practical strategies to elevate your fitness career and enhance your impact on clients' lives. I'm your host, Amy Boone-Thompson. I'm the proud owner and CEO of IDEA and a certified fitness professional for over 30 years. Hello, and welcome back to the IDEAfit Pro Show, the podcast that empowers fitness professionals to reach their highest potential personally and professionally. I'm your host, Amy Boone-Thompson, CEO of IDEA Health and Fitness Association. And today we are kicking off our Season 8 series, Meet the Authors, where we highlight the incredible contributors to the book Inspire the World to Fitness, leaders who have and who are shaping our industry and changing lives every single day. And this season is really about connection, connecting you to their stories, to our purpose, and to the people behind the work that continues to move our industry forward. This season is designed to be experienced alongside the book, so you can not only hear these stories, but truly connect with the ideas and take action in your own career. It's truly an honor and personally exciting for me to welcome our first guest of the season, Ellen DeWord, who was recently named IDEA's 2026 Fitness Instructor of the Year. Ellen is CEO and creator of an international group fitness brand. She is an educator, a presenter, a global leader who has dedicated her career to developing professionals and advancing standards across our industry. Her chapter, titled From Mantra to Manifestation to Metamorphosis, it's chapter 9. Is about discovering your purpose, leading with authenticity, and having the courage to create meaningful impact. Ellen, welcome back to the IDEAfit Pro Show.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me again. Me and my noisy Bengal cat, who is probably going to chime in through the whole entire conversation.
Yeah, I couldn't help smile. I think I heard her already as I was reading the intro. She's so wonderful. She comes into all of our episodes, actually.
She really does.
It's so great to have you here again. Today, I really am excited to take our audience into just a deeper understanding of who you are as a fitness professional, as a leader, as a program creator. But to do that, I think I want to go back and revisit your early beginnings in this career. I think that's especially poignant because it speaks to so many people. You talk a lot in your chapter about where you were in that place in time. And so maybe we can start by taking us back to the infancy of your career, what really got you started in this pathway.
Sure. And I'm so excited to be here and to kind of, what I loved about the different authors and their contributions is how unique and different our stories were. And I think the heart really behind my chapter is I'm just an ordinary girl. I'm just a normal, ordinary girl. In fact, I tell the world in the book that I actually was a college dropout. So with a lot of struggle and adversity. And so I know that my career has taken some amazing and extraordinary turns. And so it's just a passion of mine to kind of share how it all happened. And I think I really tried to break it down in practical ways. So for the reader. So I'm excited for people to pick up the book and read all the chapters. Yes. I was like a tomboy athlete growing up, Amy. I know you come from athletics as well. And so I think I learned a lot. I love to move. I love to move my body. And I learned a lot from being an athlete, about hard work and commitment and competition and teamwork and all kinds of things like that. I was pretty in shape because I was always doing sports. I played volleyball, basketball, and soccer. And when I was in high school, even though I was super fit and athletic, I kind of suddenly started gaining weight. And because I was like a skinny kid, you know, I was like a knobby-kneed athletic tomboy. And all of a sudden, I just noticed that I was starting to feel uncomfortable in my body, self-conscious of how I looked. I had dark purple stretch marks kind of happening everywhere on my body. And I noticed that I was having an unusual relationship with food. And I don't even know how it started. I think it has a lot to do with how addictive our food is in this country and how uneducated I was at the time about food and nutrition and whole foods. And so I was eating a lot of highly processed foods and was probably going through some tumult and turmoil. My parents were getting divorced, and I think I was just turning to food. And I noticed that I couldn't stop eating, you know, whereas my friends could, you know, if they were full, they didn't finish their plate. They were just full and could walk away. And I just noticed like something's wrong with me. Yeah. I started to feel like something's wrong with me. I can't stop eating and I can't stop thinking about food. I would eat and then be thinking about when I could eat again. And it had nothing to do with how full I was. And so I ended up developing an eating disorder. So I struggled a lot. And this started around age 19. And it was a little bit of anorexia, a lot of bulimia. I became addicted to laxatives, which is pretty common, laxative and diuretic abuse with eating disordered people. And, you know, I was like a compulsive overeater. So this eating disorder kind of brought me back to a normal body weight. And actually I was underweight. And weirdly, I got married at this weird time in my life where I was very unhealthy in a lot of ways. I got married and much to my surprise, got pregnant. So I was really struggling and found myself wanting to, you know, get in shape and be healthy. I always wanted to get in shape and be healthy. Yeah. And so I found myself in a group fitness class thinking that just postpartum, that would be an easy way to kind of get involved with fitness. So the long story short about that experience is that classroom, that instructor, becoming part of a community of people that move together daily was ultimately the final piece. There was a couple of other pieces of the puzzle to my mental and physical health, but it was actually group fitness truly that saved my life. I was at the rock bottom. I didn't care if my car ran off the road and wrapped itself around a tree. And group fitness was the final piece where things just started to shift into balance. The way I ate, the amount of exercise. I wasn't trying to just be a slave on a treadmill for 4 hours a day, doing penance to burn calories. I actually started to enjoy moving for the sake of movement. And I fell in love with those people. And I fell in love with that instructor. And I found myself happy again. I found myself climbing out of postpartum. And then I wanted to do that with my life. I thought, what a better thing to do with my life than to help people fall in love with movement and give them their mental health back.
Yeah. I want to read a little part of the book, and you do go into more of that experience stepping into your first group fitness room. And I know for the readers, it's really poignant because we've all been there as ourselves, but also when people are coming to our classes for the first time, it's just such a good reminder of maybe what's happening in their world or in their lives, and to really embrace and love everyone. But the quote I wanted to share was exactly what you had just articulated. Group fitness saved my life. It was the one thing that shifted my physical and mental health and my relationship with food into balance. It gave me back. I love that. So that led you to not only, from there you go on to talk about, like, that led you not only to want to be in that room and connect with that community, but to have a career as a fitness instructor. And then later, how really you shifted your mindset to say, I want to bring this gift to more people. I want to create my own programs. And so that's led you on this entire career journey and trajectory over the last several years. So maybe highlight for the audience who doesn't know you yet, tell us about your career and where that led you.
Gosh, well, yes, I wanted to have greater and greater impact. I still do. It's still this like carrot always in front of me. Yes. I want to have more impact and help more people. But I do think it starts in your own community. So it definitely started by just wanting to be a great leader in my own classroom and to be a great group fitness instructor, which by the way, I wasn't when I started, truthfully. Like I had trouble finding the beat and all that stuff. And then I went through a season of like way too much ego. So it took a while for me to be a great leader in my own community. And it started there, teaching class as well. And then I was sort of shadowing, I guess. I was paying attention. I was really one of my best friends who was my boss at the time, and she moved away. So she was the group fitness director, and she moved to Portland, Oregon. I'm in Eugene, so she moved a couple hours north, and so I like slipped right into her job. But that's often how it happens. It's who you know. And I'd been watching her, like not watching her like I want your job someday, but just I was so enamored by her leadership. She was a phenomenal leader and mentor. She would give me hard feedback, honest feedback about myself as an instructor. And so I was so mesmerized by how well she led. And when she left, I took over her job. So that was like my first time stepping into management. And like I already mentioned on the beginning of this conversation, I didn't finish college. I dropped out because of my eating disorder, because I needed to go into an eating disorders facility for 5 months. And so then I got married and had a baby. So I never finished school. I've had to teach myself everything. And so that was my first position in management. And I kind of like learned on the job. It was a small job. So group fitness management positions, as I'm sure everyone listening knows, vary wildly from like bougie in an office with a computer where you wear a skirt and heels. And I ended up there. But this one was more like no office, 2 to 4 hours a week. Yeah. Very minimum wage. I think at the time it was like $10 an hour was minimum wage. And I was like group fitness director. So that was the first step. And then I was always hungry for education. I've always wanted to learn more, do better. And so as the director, I was hosting a ton of presenters and workshops. I always wanted, there's often like a free training if you're the host. So I was like, I want my free CECs, but I also loved bringing the team together. I loved giving them opportunities to elevate and grow. So I just found myself hosting all kinds of presenters. And then I was like, oh, this is my next, like, I want to do that. Then I would have more impact than this local community, than this classroom in this local community. And I was doing a lot of stuff out in the community too, in parks and fun, raising money for this thing and that thing. I just always wanted to be doing more here in town. But then when I was having these presenters come, I was like, oh, I want to do that, because then those people can go out and affect their communities. And so my impact can grow. So I wanted to become a presenter, like a master trainer. So my first opportunity to do that was with Beachbody. And I just would want to say that opened a bazillion doors for me in fitness, because they showed me sort of behind the scenes of, how you lead on a fitness video, which is really a different skill set than leading on a classroom. They taught me how to be on stage at a conference. In fact, I was trying to remember, I think the first time I was on stage at IDEA as what I would say a backup dancer, I think was with Jeffrey Scott, and he was doing P90X. It was a long time ago, but I got confidence being up on stage in front of big audiences of people. I got to test choreography, and then later to kind of start to design and write some choreography myself. And I got to lead instructor trainings, which is what I wanted to do. So I learned all these different pieces of a fitness brand because of my relationship with Beachbody. So super grateful for that. And then I was a presenter, and on the weekends I was traveling about, usually Pacific Northwest, but not always, leading instructor trainings for some of their fitness formats. And then when that led to other opportunities. The Lululemon, I was their first ambassador here in Eugene. In fact, that's the sign that was in their store. They gave it to me. Now it's hanging at home. Then I decided to start my own company and write my own programming.
Yeah.
Really where I think it's really the culmination of all the pieces, is really been about, this is kind of where I feel like I've arrived. This is where I want to be, is creating programming and what your audience doesn't know, and I didn't say in the book because the ink hadn't dried, is now I own a Warrior studio. So I opened a brick and mortar. It's like 7 weeks old, where we are teaching, and it's an education hub too. So we're also filming content, and I'm doing instructor trainings there now too. So I just feel like I've really been so blessed and have landed exactly where I wanted to be, but also bigger than I ever thought I could.
Yeah. I do want to dig in a little deeper to Warrior and everything that your company is doing. But before we go there, let's talk more about, I got just a few weeks ago. So this has been this is the year of Ellen DeWord, by the way, y'all. She's the instructor of the year. So a couple of weeks ago, I got to watch her acceptance speech at Idea World. And in addition to that, she said, she's just opened a brick and mortar studio where they offer classes to the community, and as well, they're doing filming. So it's been crazy. But as you think back to those early years as an instructor and then as a presenter, how did IDEA fit into that, and what has IDEA meant to you in your journey as both an educator and as a leader?
Everything. IDEA has always been the penultimate to me, always. And I remember, I almost shared this in my acceptance speech, but I did want to keep it under the requisite 4 minutes. So I remember very, very vividly the year Trina Gray won IDEA Fitness Leader of the Year. And I remember I was sitting in the back of this sea of people, and I'm telling you, the seed was planted of like, that would be the ultimate, the penultimate fitness achievement for me, would be to win an award at IDEA. And I also want to share that I didn't think it was possible for me. So there was this evolution, and that's really what my chapter is about, is empowering the evolution, because there was definitely a time in my life where it was like, that's for someone else. That's for the real leaders. That's for the unicorn, individual. That's not for an ordinary girl like me. And then there was just this work on myself where I slowly but surely went through this, well, wait, maybe that could be like me. Maybe I could be a unicorn. Maybe I can be a unicorn. Exactly. And then this progression to like, no, that is me. That is me. I am her. To like, yes, I'm deserving. Not in an arrogant way, but in a confident way. Like, I do deserve that. And so I guess that's actually what that's why I was so excited to be, thank you for inviting me to contribute to the book, because that is my message, is that the ordinary can do extraordinary things. And so IDEA has given me that. IDEA gives all of us that. IDEA gives us the platform to grow, to dream, to learn more, to level up, to network. I wouldn't be here. These things wouldn't have happened but for IDEA's role in my life, for sure.
That's how we start the book. And for those of you who haven't read it, to me, it was the same for me. I was I was a finalist the year that Torino won. And that to me, I also shaped my career. And I was aspiring to bigger things in the industry. But in the beginning, we tell IDEA's story and we lay out the whole timeline. But truly, IDEA is the platform that wove all of the authors together and all of you listening. Like, it is for all of us. And just like you said, Ellen, every single person out there has the ability to inspire others, whether the platform is big or whether the platform is small. You have that opportunity every day. And that's truly what these stories are about and how we can uplift one another. When I invited you to write your story, when you initially thought about that opportunity, who were you thinking of when you wrote your chapter, and what really, a little bit more about what you're hoping people are walking away with after reading it?
Definitely, I was thinking of the dreamer who has not yet stepped into their full power. And maybe it's from lack of confidence or lack of self-belief or know-how. But I love the juxtaposition between me and Len Kravitz, who's as educated as they come, from him to me, who dropped out of college because of an eating disorder. So that's who my chapter is for, is your everyday person who wants to make an impact with their life, who thinks, well, maybe there's something special about me. Maybe I could do this. Yeah.
I've said this before, but one of your superpowers is creating community. And you know this because that's what you did as a fitness director. It's what you do as now owning Warrior. You're bringing together a community of professionals that love and support one another. And then that emanates into their classrooms and they love and support their communities. And you have described your instructors as edgy, as misfits, maybe. So tell us more about this community that is Warrior, and more about that superpower of yours. Did you recognize that this was your superpower early on?
Maybe I did know that was a gift that I have. However, I didn't know that the Warrior organization would take off and grow how it has. That definitely was sort of organic and took me a little bit by surprise, but I was like, okay, I gotta go. It's happening. I can step into this and create something lasting and meaningful with it, or I can be afraid. And I was going to say, before I go into the building community thing and about who the chapter was for, something else I wanted to say is that I do lead with fear. And a lot of people refer to me as their fearless leader. I hear that phrase a lot in relationship to me. And I always want to say, oh no, I'm always scared. I was scared to death to open a brick and mortar. I was scared to create fitness programming. I was scared to be on my first stage at a conference with a microphone on my head, terrified. I was scared to teach my first class. I was scared to teach every new format. Every single new step. In fact, I recently, Amy, heard you talk about doing more and more things that are uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. That's what it's been like. It's just been like this succession of things that are more uncomfy and they're always with fear. And so anyway, that's also who my chapter is for. The people that are like, I'm scared. I'm scared to put myself out there. Okay. So back to the Warrior community. It is what I do. It is my superpower in my actual classes and I think it just truly stems from my authentic love of people. I actually love people, and they make me happy. I mean, not all people all the time. Of course, I'm not Pollyannish about the world, but I love people, and I love when they connect, and I love when they're happy, and I love when they're vulnerable, and I love when they feel safe. And I always wanted them to connect in a class setting to each other more than me. I didn't want me to necessarily be the fulcrum, but it to be the community, like us. And so I think that that's microcosmic of the Warrior Instructor Academy and the instructors that are teaching around the world. I think there is this incredible sense of community and connection. And we are kind of, I don't know if it's because I have tried, and I talk about this in the book too, to just really be myself and to not try to conform to what I think people might want from me. It's really hard. It's really tempting to try to like, what should I post on social? What do I think people want to hear from me rather than what do I want to say today? Like, so I've really tried to be uniquely myself and quirks and foibles and all. And I think that tends to attract others like that. So I think our community at large tends to be sort of the misfits and the people that maybe didn't feel like they fit in elsewhere, that maybe beat to their own drum. And so I think that's sort of our culture.
It's incredible, though. I didn't realize this as I was reading your chapter, just the magnitude of what Warrior Instructor Academy is today. 800 instructors in 14 different countries. And then you have the 6 branded formats like this. And you've done this in such a short amount of time. I know you've been a road warrior yourself, out doing instructor trainings and really bringing these communities together. But that's mind-blowing, Ellen, what you've done in such a short amount of time. So congratulations for that. Yes.
Thank you. Oh, one more piece about the culture thing is that I will say, because it might be benefit to all of those listening who care about creating culture, is there is a self-fulfilling prophecy piece. And one thing I really try to do consciously is speak it into. I say it, like I speak it into them, like this is who we are. We are positive. We don't gossip. We support others. We are welcoming of all types and all beliefs. Like I say that, and then it is, in fact, to the instructor community. But even in my studio last night, someone came in their, they work for the post office, and they came in their post office uniform to take class. And I was like, Glenda, I can't believe you showed up. She's like, I forgot my clothes. And I was like, I just love that, because you could have, it's so easy to be like, oh, I forgot my clothes, I'm not going to go work out. And she said, but you say, come as you are. So I forgot my clothes. So I came in my uniform because you said, come as you are. And I was like, that's right. So I think like in terms of community and culture, we as leaders can breathe and shape that with our words. But yes, the pace of the company's growth has been hair on fire. Very, like I said, organic, seeing the need and like taking opportunities. You know, the adding Warrior Combat is a good example of that. Like that was a quick, because I'm not a martial arts, it's not in my wheelhouse, but I met Diva. I saw an opportunity. The community was wanting kickboxing. So I was like, let's go. But yes, we have 4 license-free group fitness formats that are easy to teach, easy to learn to teach. They're safe and effective, very original, very refreshing. We have a yoga-inspired format that is really designed for people that find traditional yoga a little on the boring side. That's kind of our little niche lane there. We have a strength training program that's easy to teach. We have a kickboxing, shadowboxing program, and we have a cycling format. So those are our 4 like main brands. And then we have a little satellite program for seniors and adaptive athletes that uses the support of a chair. And then we have a little satellite program for kids. So that's the whole library as of 2026.
So incredible, again, what you've built in such a short amount of time. What are you most excited about in your work? Like, let's look forward to the next 5 to 10 years. And what are some initiatives that you're involved with, trends that you're seeing, or maybe just what you're most excited about with what you're doing?
I think the smartest thing for me to do right now is to buckle down and kind of go deep rather than go wide. That being said, I definitely am aware of the bar and Pilates trend today. I'm definitely seeing a lot of shift into that area. Personally, I am very interested in seeing the success of this Warrior Studio and maybe even franchising at some point in the future. So those are kind of like, those are sort of the things dancing around in my crazy brain.
That's brilliant. One of the brands I used to work with and sell licenses for, there were a few studios popping up. This would have been 2016 to 19. And there were a few group fitness studios popping up, but not that many. It was really what was to be considered small group training. And I just think I think you're onto something really brilliant. I think that, I'm excited to see, and I get to see the studio in June. So I can't wait to be there and experience it and get to be part of your community. So exciting. Well, your chapter is From Mantra to Manifestation to Metamorphosis. And I know that the story takes us through your journey, excuse me, but you also have some calls to action for your audience and for the listeners and people who read your chapter. So let's share some of those as people are thinking about what will they take from reading your chapter. What are some things you want them to practice?
Okay, well, I really like alliteration. It helps me learn. So really starting with a mantra. And for me, the mantra was, why not me? Why someone else? Why not me? And just saying that over and over and over ad nauseum in my head and saying it differently and until I really believed it. So that was one call to action I have is come up with a mantra that speaks to you. And you can take mine. You can take that one. Come up with a mantra, something that you're going to say to yourself routinely, and then to manifest it. And I really mean like high definition, technicolor, see it happening, see those, the big wild dreams that you have coming to life. I mean, in as fine detail as possible, to create that visual and to like ruminate and marinate on that visual along with the power of your mantra. And then finally, that none of that will happen if there's not action and work and effort and consistency. So make it happen. That's the last M. So there's the mantra, there's the manifestation, and then there's the make it happen, like do it consistently, because all the dreaming in the world and all the hoping and planning doesn't happen without some elbow grease, some rolling up your sleeves and putting in the reps, and maybe that's the late nights and learning how to do what you want to do. And that's my secret sauce for the metamorphosis. And the picture I have, and I hope Amy, you, and I hope people listening have maybe seen this, but there's a meme on social media, and it's a police officer pulling over a butterfly in his patrol car to give the butterfly a ticket. And the butterfly is holding out the butterfly's driver's license. And it's a caterpillar. The picture on the ID is a caterpillar. And the officer's like, that doesn't look like you. And the butterfly's like, I've changed.
Mm-hmm.
I look different now. So that's what my chapter is about, going from caterpillar to big, beautiful butterfly. And that's my hope for all of us.
Oh, so brilliant. And also you're going to continue to fly. And they say that the butterfly's wings can be create a ripple effect around the world. There's a whole saying about, I'll have to pull the exact story, but I think that to me, that's what you're doing, is that not just your wings floating in the air, but all the people, the community that you've built with all of those wings floating in the air, you're creating truly a ripple of beauty and of movement and helping people live healthier lives.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Is there anything we didn't cover that has been in your heart that you want to share with the audience, or just anything else that, now that you're the reigning fitness instructor of the year, our audience will probably be hearing and seeing a lot about you, but is there anything else that's in your heart today that you want to share?
No, I'm just so excited to be part of the IDEA family at large. And truly, I'm very approachable person. So those of you who I haven't met, please find me on Instagram is my favorite place to be. So reach out, connect. I would love to follow you back. I'm not stingy like that. Like, I see if someone looks like they're involved in fitness, I follow them right back. So I would love to support you, answer questions you have, get to know you too. So.
That's great. Ellen, thank you so much for being here today. So much fun. And congratulations again on being named the 2026 IDEA Fitness Instructor of the Year. Your leadership and your work are truly influencing fitness professionals around the world. And we're so grateful for all of your contributions to our industry, but also through the book and to the IDEA community. Thank you. What I've loved about this conversation today is a reminder that the work we do, we truly love. It's not just about fitness. It's about purpose. It's about connection. And it's truly about the impact that we get to have in other people's lives every single day. Thank you for listening to the IDEAfit Pro Show. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, share it, and join us next time as we continue our Season 8 series, Meet the Authors. And if you're looking to grow, connect, and lead in this industry, we invite you to join the IDEA community at IDEAfit.com. Until next time, keep inspiring the world to fitness.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of the IDEAfit Pro Show. If you did, we'd love for you to follow, share, and give us a 5-star rating. Be sure to explore IDEAfit's vast library of past episodes featuring insights from top experts and thought leaders across a variety of topics. There truly is something for everyone. IDEAfit Pro Show is part of the IDEAfit Podcast Network. A huge thank you to our entire team at IDEA Health and Fitness Association. Copyright 2026, all rights reserved. Reproduction without permission is prohibited.